Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And this week, we're heading to Modern to caw our way through Modern. We are playing Squadron Hog Tribal. That's right, not just Squadron Hogs, literal Squadron Hog Tribal. So let's talk about this ridiculous deck. Jump into a league, see it in action. All right, so here is our Squadron Hog Tribal deck. And of course, we're built around Squadron Hog. Just a 2-mana 1/1 flyer. When it comes into play, we can tutor the rest of them out of our deck. But remember, we're not just a Squadron Hog deck. We're a Squadron Hog Tribal deck. So backing up Squadron Hog, we have Battalion Foot Soldier, basically 3-mana ground version of Squadron Hog. We have Legion Angel, kind of a 4-mana flying Squadron Hog from our sideboard. So why are we playing all these white creatures that when the first one comes into play, tutors up all the rest of the copies? The answer is, well, partly we're playing them like normal creatures, just attacking, blocking, doing creature stuff, but we also have synergies like Force of Virtue, a anthem that we can cast for free on our opponent's turn by exiling a white card from our hand. So what the deck really wants to do is like Squadron Hog or Battalion Foot Soldier or whatever, get a bunch of copies in our hand, cast some of them to start attacking our opponent, and then use the rest of them to cast free Force of Virtues or free Solitudes as removal. Same as Force of Virtue. We can cast it for free if we pitch a white card, exile one from our hand. So because we're generating all this weird Squadron Hog card advantage, we're kind of getting around the drawback of having to pitch these cards to Force of Virtue and Solitude. Backing up our Squadron Hog blade, we got a bunch of humans. This is kind of our fast clock close out the game package. We got Champion of the Parish, Sally as Lieutenant, two pretty well-known humans that grow really big as more humans come into play. Luminarch Aspirant, standard, staple. Thalia in Esper Sentinel, a little bit of a taxing human package. We also have Ether Vial just to cheat things into play on the cheap. Mana base wise, really low land count. 16 real lands for Amiria's Calls, which we're never going to cast. Most likely, we're not going to get 7 mana, but it's another white card that we can pitch to Force of Virtue, pitch to Solitude. Sideboard wise, bunch of removals, some hate cards for combo like Sanctum Prelate, Thalia, some graveyard hate, the Legion Angels, of course, and that is Squadron Hog Tribal for Modern. That's our Bunch of Brew deck for this week, so let's jump into a league, see if we can caw our way to some wins in Modern. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Looking for some sweet new Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms cards? Well, you can order them now from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Much Brew About Nothing time. We are Squadron Hog Tribaling in Modern, and hopefully we get down this Ether Vial before we get hit by discard. Otherwise, we really need to draw lands, and then we really need to draw... Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler, and a Bobble, and a Surveil. Well, we will see. Double Legion Angel, little awkward, little expensive, but we draw the land, so, well, play the land. Play Ether Vial. Opponent, gonna crack, take a peek. Ideally, we will be able to Squadron Hog, fill our hand with Squadron Hogs, and then we can pitch them to Solitudes and Force of Virtues. That's kind of the main goal of this deck. Playing Squadron Hogs is great, but getting extra value out of discarding them, even better perhaps. All right, there's the Thoughtseize. Okay, so let's Solitude, pitch a Force of Virtue. Because our opponent's going to take our Squadron Hog anyway, so get rid of the Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm sure our opponent takes Squadron Hog. And now we're at the mercy of the top of our deck. Opponent, more bobbles, of course. Passes. Well, we will tick up the Vial, draw a Vial. Good, okay. Well, we're going to have Vials on every possible number. Pass the turn. Well, okay. We could use some non-Ether Vial cards at some point, because our opponent's going to play this Lures and start looping Mishra's Bobble, and then our Squadron Hogs, I don't think, can keep up with that value, so we're going to need to find some more interaction at some point. Opponent. Pump Fakes. Knows our hand. 2 Legion Angels. Plays a Croxa. Well, there goes Legion Angel number 1. Oh, we really needed to get down this... Okay, come on. Squadron Hawk effect, please. Oh dear. Once this Croxa comes back, then we're in a whole heap of trouble, and that is probably next turn. I'll take up the vial, take up the vial. We draw. Even more lands. Okay, well. Ay, Discard's pretty powerful, isn't it? Opponent. I mean, we could have held on to the land, but I don't think it matters anyway, because if our opponent gets back Croxa, they're going to make us discard multiple cards. Opponent, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Well, at least no Croxa this turn. That's a small relief. And a Duthi Voidwalker. Now let's take up some Ether Vials. Well, okay. Battalion Foot Soldier. We will search for more Battalion Foot Soldiers, which are helpful. At least that's a body, but it doesn't stop either of our opponent's threats. Opponent goes to combat. Goes attacking. Goes attacking. Can't do anything about that. Down to 14. Thankfully, our cards are bad enough that... Oh, Inquisition. Okay. Well, that can only take a Foot Soldier, which is fine. All right, well, Violin... Foot Soldier. This Legion Angel could be good. If we draw another land, we can double Legion Angel, which would be sweet. All right, we untap. Let's see. So Vial up to 4 for sure. And then maybe we just leave this one on 2. Well, go to combat. Attack you. Vial, Thalia's Lieutenant to grow the Dorks. Hit you to set. I mean, maybe there's some hope we win this race. We can Vial in the Legion Angel. Still worried about Croxa. Opponent combat. Attacks. Do we have a chance? After this slow start, opponent hits us down to 8. Sure. Opponent's gonna need some blockers or removal. Well, we will Vial in Legion Angel. Opponent needs multiple removal spells. All right, kills Legion Angel. I mean, they're still facing lethal at the moment. We will get another Legion Angel. Vial's gonna say the same. So opponent needs more removal. We draw Thalia. Well, let's Ether Vial. See if our opponent reacts. Ooh, all right. Thalia. Go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent has another Lightning Bolt. Okay. So our opponent is going to 1. This does shut down Croxa, though, because they can't use their land. Oh, if we had another human. All right, so opponent down to 1. While we pass the turn, I think we're hopefully good. I mean, opponent can replay a Legion Angel with Voidwalker, but that doesn't save them. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, okay. Wow, that looked grim when we had... 2 Legion Angels and did nothing forever, but eventually we drew a Squadron Hawk, perhaps our worst Squadron Hawk, and our worst Squadron Hawk came through. Well, now there's good news. We get a Sanctifier end back, which seems kind of insane against our opponent's deck. Maybe another Thalia, probably Path to Exiles, and maybe the Forge Tender. The question is, how do we make these cards fit? That is a question. Do we have to go down the Foot Soldiers? Like, maybe it's Foot Soldier out, Luminarch Aspirant out, something like that. We still have 28 creatures. Actually, Sanctum Prelate might be insane in this matchup. Like, Prelate on 1 seems like it shuts down a big chunk of our opponent's deck, and it's a human. What are we... Maybe we don't go Forge Tender, and we go... Ooh, 3 Thalia still? Let's try it like that. I think that's fine. I do think Sanctum Prelate could be really good. Well, we got answers for days. Would be nice to get this Vial down before it gets hit by discard, but Blackcleave Cliffs and Dragon's Rage Channeler. Sure. And a Bobble and a Surveil. Yeah, I mean, we have a ridiculous number of answers at the moment. Opponent cracks a Bobble, takes peek, draws a card. Well, we will play a Plains. Play a Ether Vial. Opponent gets to keep their Dragon's Rage Channeler for a turn at least. Getting down Vial on turn 1 super powerful. Opponent combat. If they don't have lands, we don't really want to path and give them lands anyway. Opponent hits us down to 19. All right, so they do have lands. Marsh Flats cracks it. Well, now we would like a Squadron Hawk. Godless Shrine, untap down to 17, and Scourge of the Skyclave. Oh my goodness. Oh, is there a way we can kill this with the life gain? Not currently. Well, take up the Vial. Sanctum Prelate. Well, play Sunbaked Canyon. Pass the turn. Opponent. Seal of Fire surveils. At some point, we are going to have to path. Goes to combat. Attacks. Yeah, let's pass Scourge. We do want to try to save on hold on to some removal for an eventual Lurrus. Like, Lurrus has got to die. Like, the amount of value it generates is so high. The Seal of Fire is kind of annoying because it shuts down... Wow, they don't have a land? Okay. Wow, max greed mode achieved. That makes me feel a lot better about this. Pathing and not giving your opponent the land is so good. Opponent, Scourge of the Skyclave. I guess if you don't got any lands, do we want to just kill it? Yeah, let's path it. Untap, take out the Vial. Play another Vial. Been really good at drawing multiple Vials this match. Opponent adapts. Plays, oh, there's their one basic. Kroxa. Okay. We'll discard Force of Virtue. And opponent's going to wear a Vial. That's actually kind of a problem. Well, let's put Thalio's Lieutenant into play. Opponent, yeah, kills our good Vial, turns on their Dork, goes to combat, hits us. Down to 14. Squadron Hawk, please. Take up the Vial. Amiria's Call. And we'll go to combat. Attack. Yeah, I guess we got to play this land. Pass the turn. So the issue we might be running into is Kroxa and Lurrus are coming, and I don't think we have enough removal for all of them. Opponent gets the Lurrus. Plays a land. Goes to combat. Hits us. All right, untap, take up the Vial, Squadron Hawk, Squadron Hawk. Okay, that's a Squadron Hawk. That is very good. So now we can Ether Vial. This helps. Opponent's gonna kill the Thalio's Lieutenant, sure. Well, we will put a Squadron Hawk into play. Get a bunch more Squadron Hawks. Play Sanctum Prelate on 1. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. We still got to find a way to deal with both Lurrus and Kroxa. Opponent sacks their land, draws a card. Solitude can hopefully deal with one of them. Land. Yeah, we need to draw another Solitude, I think. All right, there's a Lurrus. Opponent bobbles, surveils, mills a land, goes to combat, hits us. Down to 7. Ooh, come on. Come on, one more Solitude. Opponent passes. So we're definitely going to have to get rid of the Lurrus. Vial, I think, stays on 2. Actually, maybe we should tick it up. Yeah, let's tick it up. All right, so play Champion of the Parish. Play Squadron Hawk. Nothing to search for. Unfortunately, evoke a Solitude, get rid of the Lurrus. Go to combat. Oh, we're still in a pretty tough spot, though. Hit our opponent, because the Kroxa. The Kroxa returns. Opponent down to 14, and we don't have an answer. Yeah, that's a not super ideal position. Opponent cracks the Arid Mesa. Untap land. Terminates a Squadron Hawk. Mills a Wear Tear. Yikes. Draws an extra card. Ooh, yeah, Kroxa. Well, maybe we can try bringing in Rest in Peace, see if it's worth it. We were so close to dealing with everything. Lurrus is tough like that. That +1 card in hand, that's actually +2 cards in hand, that's what won us our opponent this game. Like, if they didn't have the Lurrus in hand, well, you know what I mean by in hand, but if they didn't have that, we would have the removal for the Kroxa, and I think we probably win. But since we don't, opponent goes to combat. No attacks. Well, we're going to need a really good draw here. Vial going up to 4. Legion Angel would be interesting. We draw. Legion Angel. Well, I think we passed the turn. So I think what we're going to have to do is Legion Angel to block our way through Kroxa. Opponent said they forgot about Sanctum Prelate. So they must have had a 1-mana spell they're going to play to turn back on Dragon Rage Channeler. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. All right, so let's crack Sunbait Canyon, draw a card. Ooh. Violin, a Legion Angel. Tutor up a Legion Angel. Discard a Legion Angel. I think we have to chump this turn. I think we gotta wait till next turn, because if we wait till next turn and get down the Sanctifier, then we can get rid of this Kroxa forever. Opponent. Another Legion Angel would be good. Oh, this is tricky. What do we do with this Vial? Taking it up to... something they can cast? Terminate. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay, that is probably what kills us. That is a good draw. Opponent. Explosives on 1. Yeah, trying to get rid of the Vial. Are they cracking it? Okay. Well, this is fine. So we lose the Vial, but our opponent loses Dragon Rage Channeler. We will Sanctify our Enfek. Get rid of the graveyards. I think we got to go for the win because we drew a land anyway. Hit our opponent for 5. I mean, we're dead to Bolt, but I don't think staying on defense. We're dead to Bolt even if we stay blocking. Play the land, pass the turn. All right. We're presenting lethal in the air. Opponent gonna hit us. Do they have a Bolt in hand? That is a determining factor. Opponent attacks the Kroxa, hits us to 3. Do you have the Bolt? They do. Oh. Woo! All right. All right. Well, sometimes they have the bolt. Sometimes I have the bolt. Maybe Rest in Peace is worth it. Maybe Rest in Peace go down to Force of Virtue. Force of Virtue doesn't seem that good. Let's go down 2 Force of Virtues, go up 2 Rest in Pieces. In this matchup, our stuff still dies to the same removal. It doesn't really change much. All right, we're on the play. Let's get a good draw. This has been a really close match. Well, okay, we will keep. We got the Vial. We got stuff to Vial in. 2 Squadron Hawks, a little bit annoying, but this seems reasonable. Could use some more hate cards. That would be the best. Well, land and Vial. Go. I mean, I guess the good news is they can't take all of our Squadron Hawks with a discard spell, so they probably have to take Path or Sentinel. So I guess there's some value to having double Squadron Hawk, even if it is a smidge awkward. Opponent. Arid Mesa. Cracks it. Blood Crypt. Untapped. And Inquisition. I'm guessing they take Esper Sentinel, but we'll see. Esper Sentinel just comes down for free off Vial next turn, which makes it pretty good. I'll take the Path. All right, sure. Take up the Vial. We're so good at drawing. Every single game this match, we've drawn another Vial at the least opportune time. Well, Squadron Hawks. Caw. Find some more Squadron Hawks. Vial a Esper Sentinel into play. Pass the turn. All right, please no more Ether Vials. Vial's a card where you really want to draw 1, and you want to have it in your opening hand, but you really don't want to be drawing it on turn 2 every game, which has become a tradition. Opponent, land, and. At least our hand does not care much about discard. Explosives on 1, pays the 1. All right, well, go Squadron Hawks. And a bobble. Opponent passes. Well, take up the Vial. I guess the backup Vial looks a little better now that we know our first one's getting blown up. Still not ideal. Ooh, Force of Virtue. Well, we will play a Squadron Hawk. You know what? Maybe we just go for it. Play a Squadron Hawk. Force of Virtue. Oh, we got to do it during our opponent's turn. All right, go to combat. Hit ya. We are probably going to do it, though. I think our plan is Vial another Squadron Hawk into play, Force of Virtue, and just hope that the caw go all the way. It's possible as 2/2s. Like, they might. And Explosives is slow. Like, it does get rid of Vial and Esper Sentinel, but it is slow. Our opponents had to spend a mana to cast it and then 2 more to activate it, which does work in our favor. Opponent, Marsh Flats. Okay, there's the Explosive, so we will put a Squadron Hawk into play. Lose the Vial, lose the Esper Sentinel. Opponent, passing. I mean, I think we're going to do it. We are Squadron Hawk Tribal, and this is maximum Hawkage. Opponent, Marsh Flats. Should be out of basics. Godless Shrine, untapped. Bobble, cracks it, and Inquisition. Well, all right. Force of Virtue. Pitch a Squadron Hawk. They can take our Vial. Come on, Hawks. Come on, Squadron Hawks. You could do it. Opponent gets to draw a card. We draw. Solitude that we can't cast. Go to combat. Hit ya. Down to 6. Oh, another Explosives with a land would be real bad. Real, like deadly bad. Opponent. GG's! It's a GG's! That's a call win! Squadron! All right. Whew. Well, that's why we call it Squadron Hawk Tribal. That was a full-on Squadron Hawk win. We Squadron Hawked. We vialed in a Squadron Hawk. We pitched a Squadron Hawk to Force of Virtue to pump our Squadron Hawks. And our opponent's, Rakdos, Death Shadow, whatever lures deck can't keep up with the caw value. Sweet. Caw. Much ado about nothing time. We are playing some Squadron Hawk Tribal in Modern. And yeah, sound looks pretty reasonable. We have an Ether Vial, a Squadron Hawk, and a bunch of Esper Sentinels. Yeah, let's see what our opponent's up to. Oh, gotta be a Grief style deck. Well, let's Ether Vial go. Opponent planes and passes. Well, take up the Vial. Question is, do we Vial Esper Sentinel first and put the counter on it? I mean, we're definitely in some form Esper Sentinel plus Luminarch Aspirant. Yeah, I think we Esper Sentinel. I'm expecting our opponent probably has removal of some kind. Play and land, Luminarch Aspirant. So we'll try to put the counter on the Sentinel. Oh, all right. Solitude, sure. Gets rid of, okay, the Sentinel. And, all right, so opponent comboing off in a sense, I guess. Sure. All right, so opponent did their big thing. We'll see. We will see if it beats us. Pass the turn. If they follow up with a Stoneforge, we're in a bit of trouble. Tap land. Opponent gets and hits us. Now, we will Vial in Esper Sentinel before we take up the Vial. Take up the Vial, see what we draw. We draw our own Solitude. That's actually not bad. So we get to Horizon Canopy, Battalion Foot Soldier, grab a couple more, pass the turn. And now we have something to pitch to the Solitude if we need to get rid of our opponent's Solitude. Although, yeah, we're probably going to have to get rid of a Stoneforge. All right, there's Calder. Well, we definitely got to get rid of Stoneforge. Opponent goes to combat, going to attack, not going to attack. All right, so, well, let's untap and see what we draw. Take up the Vial, Amiria's Call. Yeah, so we will play Amiria's Call tapped. Solitude, pitching a Foot Soldier. Get rid of the Stoneforge, because we cannot let this Calder complete come down. So get rid of Stoneforge. Pass the turn. Opponent, combat. Let's draw a card. All right, I think we wait. I think we take the damage this turn. Sure. Now that we drew this Thalia's Lieutenant, waiting seems best. So Violin, Foot Soldier. No more to search for. Untap. Take up the Vial to 4. Force of Virtue is also interesting. Well, we will play Thalia's Lieutenant. Grow the Dorks. Go to combat. Hit ya. And then, yeah, I think we're just going to pitch this Amiria's Call to Force of Virtue. Opponent. Grief. Full price Grief. Amiria. Sure. Untapped. Grief. We will Force of Virtue. Opponent. I mean, we will take the trade. Yeah, I mean, we got to do it. This probably means our last card is a Undying Evil effect of some kind. Malakar Rebirth. At least we get to draw a card. It is a card we didn't want. All right, so stuff dies, returns. The other issue is this Calder Complete is going to come down in the not super distant future. Gets rid of the Foot Soldier. We go to 17. We untap, we draw. Come on, Real Magic the Gathering card. We'll take it up in case we find a Solitude. Champion of the Parish. Grow Thalia's Lieutenant. Pass the turn. This is a bit awkward. Opponent. Oh, no! Draws a Charming Prince. Goes to combat. Oh, no. So many blink effects coming down. Gets rid of Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay. Real card, please. Vial, staying on 5, forever. We draw. Amiria's Call. I don't think that actually counts as a real card. Well, we will pass the turn. The problem is we're kind of just dying on board here. And we know that Calder Complete, our opponent is eventually going to draw 2 more lands. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we will trade with the Solitude. Finally dies. For real this time. Opponent. Oh, sweet mother. Opponent just keeps drawing ways to get back their Solitude, like again and again and again. Oh no! Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess they probably just have us now. I mean, our opponent did not have any cards in hand, and they just keep drawing those like 4 turns in a row. Oh, we draw nothing. We will pass. I mean, I guess, I don't even know. We'll play Amiria's Call, I guess. Pass the turn. Oh my god. Opponent has drawn so many ways to blink these dorks. Opponent draws an... All right, draws another Grief. Oh, we'll play Force of Virtue, but... Yeah, this, I think, is probably over. Our one tiny chance is to draw Squadron Hawk and rebuild our board. Opponent gets in for a few billion. We will keep the Vial at 5. Come on, Squadron Hawk. Off the top. Thalia's Lieutenant. All right. We will play it. We will pass the turn. Opponent. Tap land. So Calder Complete, 1 turn away. Goes to combat. Attacks. We go to 7. Vial. Well, gotta be Squadron Hawk, and it's gotta be now, and our opponent's gotta not draw lands. Okay. Continuing our trend of top-decking Ether Vial at the least opportune time. Well, opponent had some shenanigans, I guess. So, I guess Path to Exile probably in, and Rest in Peace in, and we might need the Relic Warders. We'll go down a couple Force of Virtues. We'll go down, a couple Luminarch Aspirants. I feel like all of our stuff is just too slow if our opponent has their Dream Draw. Maybe we go on 1 Thalia and go down the Foot Soldiers, I guess. Run it like that. Ay. So, I mean, if our opponent just has the turn one combo draw, then I guess they get us. This Grief deck, it reminds me a lot of like a prison style deck where you're trying to jank people out, and when you have your draw, your deck is basically unbeatable in a lot of matchups. But when you don't have your draw, it's a lot worse. All right, well, we'll keep this. Hand's not great, but we have 2 vials again. So many vial issues. But in theory, we can fizzle our opponent's combo with a Solitude, very painfully, but Ether Vial, go. Silent Clearing, Esper Sentinel, okay. Opponent, passing. Well, take up the vial, draw a plane. So play the planes. Well, I guess we build a board. So we Thalia's Lieutenant, trigger on the stack, Champion of the Parish. Pass the turn. Opponent, Conceal Courtyard. Stoneforge Mystic. Gets Cauldron complete. Well, untap, see what we draw. Take up the vial. Play a Champion of the Parish. Trigger the Dorks. Go to combat, hit ya. Solitude away Stoneforge. And pass the turn. We shall see. Opponent. Still definitely worried about Solitude Ephemerate shenanigans. Gadim tapped. Grief is no longer a big concern, because our hand is basically emptied. Yeah, I guess we take it up. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent blocks. Do they have it? Not yet. Oh, play a vial. Pass the turn. Opponent. Another land. Untapped. Oh! That's not good. That's not good at all. Take up the vials, play a Thalia. That would have been good last turn. Pass the turn. Yeah, damn's a pretty decent. Opponent passes. Well, vials stay on 4. Up to 2. Squadron Hawk, please. Esper Sentinel. Well, I mean, play Esper Sentinel. It is a magic card. Go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent has the Solitude. Gets rid of Esper Sentinel. Undying Evil's the Solitude. Yeah, I mean, it looks like that probably does it. Yikes. Well, this might be a tough matchup. That dam was pretty absurd. Maul the Skyclaves. Yeah, sure. Opponent goes to combat. Hits us. Vials. Stays on 2. I guess goes up to 5 in case we draw Solitude. We draw Amiria's Call. All right, so not helpful. Yeah, I mean, we won't scoop early, but I'm not sure how we get back into this, especially with the Cauldron Complete looming. That dam living up to its name. Oh, that got us real good. Opponent, combat, attacks, hits us. Down to 8. I mean, what could you draw? Squadron Hawk and then try to chump block for this huge lifelinker that has got our opponent back up to 19? Thalia, that's not going to do it. Well, damn. I think that is the fitting word for that match. Well, fair enough. Much brew about nothing time. We are Squadron Hawk tribaling in Modern, and well, we'll try this. Esper Sentinel, Squadron Hawk, Force of Virtue, Thalia, up against some sort of Lurus deck, which could be, basically anything. Play land, Esper Sentinel. Go. Esper Sentinel on the play turn 1 is decent against our opponent's deck. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Sure. Well, we will kind of want to play Amiria. Well, do we want to play Amiria's Call? Actually, we might want to pitch it. Let's play a land, play Thalia, pass the turn. I assume if our opponent has discard, they're going to go after the Squadron Hawk. If they have discard, we might just empty our hand here and double Force of Virtue. Opponent, Void Waka. Sure. So I think we Force of Virtue. Oh, no, we can't because of Thalia, that's right. Ugh, that's awkward. That is awkward. Amiria's Call, untapped. Squadron Hawk, get many Squadron Hawks. Go to combat, get in with Thalia. Opponent passes, upkeep, Force of Virtue, pitch a Squadron Hawk. Increases the Esper Sentinel tax. Opponent going to kill the Esper Sentinel. Interesting. All right, so we get to draw a card. Opponent gets to surveil. They kill the Sentinel. I mean, that's relatively fine. Pump our dorks. And that makes our opponent mostly skip their turn. Godless Shrine tapped. Opponent gets in. Yeah, can't block it. Ooh, Thalia's Lieutenant. Well, play the land. Play Squadron Hawk. Play Thalia's Lieutenant. go to combat, hit ya for 6. I mean, we're off to a decent start here. Opponent going to chump already. All right. Well, maybe they got a Wrath that they're trying to set up. I guess Engineer Explosives on 2 would be awkward. Opponent. 2-mana Inquisition. Sure, can take the Squadron Hawk. This is where the deck feels pretty good. When we're getting the Hawks and pitching them to Force of Virtues, like, that's a pretty good start. Our opponent scoops it up. All right, well, that's when the deck looks really solid. All right, now we got to do it with our opponent on the play, I think. Path to Exiles seem good. Sanctifier and Vec probably our single best card. Also, like, a little tempted to bring in Rest in Peace. Ugh, is it worth it? That's a big question. It slows down Luris. Well, shuts down Luris. Slows down Dragon's Rage Channeler. Sanctum Prelate also is reasonable. Like, these are the cards I'm interested in, and even Forge Tender. But can we find room for that many cards? So I think maybe what you do is, like, go down the Foot Soldiers, go down Luminarch Aspirants, go down a Force of Virtue, since we're going down one of our Squadron Hawks. Ugh, is Rest in Peace worth it? That is the question of questions. All right, go down a Forge. Maybe we won't go Forge Tender and go like one Miserly Rest in Peace. Let's try it. Let's try it like that. All right, so opponent's on the play. Well, this hand's interesting. Sanctum Prelate could do some work potentially. We'll see how much discard our opponent has. Opponent going to 6. Blood Crypt, untapped. And Thoughtseize. Well, let's see what they take. Prelate on 1 seems good. And 2 is good against Bobble if we already have one on 1. All right, takes a Prelate. Opponent, pass it. And Miria's Call. Yeah, let's just play it tapped. Pass the turn. Marsh Flats. Opponent, pass it. Well, play a Plains. Yeah, I think we pass. I think we pass and try to prelate first, and then Thalia's Lieutenant, especially since we have nothing going on at the moment. We're just drawing lands. Godless Shrine tapped. Opponent passing. Please not more lands. Ooh, Rest in Peace. Huh. That's actually a little interesting. Maybe we just play that? You know what? I think we're just going to play that. Rest in Peace. Get rid of your graveyard. Play the Plains. So that shuts down Luris. That shut down Kroxa. That shuts down Dragon's Rage Initiate for the most part. Voidwalker. Who wins between, I don't even know. Probably this because of layers, but play a Plains. Actually, no, play Horizon Canopy. We got to get our card draw down. We're flooding a bit. Prelate on 1. Pass the turn. This does shut down our path, but I assume our opponent's going to have to answer this if they can. All right, going to get rid of the Rest in Peace. Opponent, going to get it and hit us. Sure. Down to 17. Human would be good. A Squadron Hawk would be good. Well, that works. Esper Sentinel. Silent Clearing. Thalia's Lieutenant. Grow the Dorks. Well, we're not hawking, but the weird human plan is not looking that bad at the moment. Opponent takes it. Down to 12. Definitely going to start cracking lands to draw cards here. Opponent. No, not casting the 1-mana spells. Or that one. Color not relevant. Sanctum Prelate kind of seems insane here. Opponent hits us. Can't block anyway. Down to 14. Well, we will sacrifice Silent Clearing, draw a card. Jeez, more lands. Okay, lands for days. Untap. Aether Vial, that's basically a land. Sack Horizon Canopy, draw a card. Ooh, that's actually a good one. Sanctifier and Vec. That's a really good one. Grow the Dork. Get down some hate. Go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent going to terminate the Prelate. Oh no, turn off auto yields. Oh, did we do it fast enough? Okay. Because now we can play the Aether Vial. Aether Vial. So this does turn our opponent's 1-mana spells back on, but it might be too late. Opponent's down to 7, and Legion Angels are a comin'. Opponent, 3 mana. Kolaghan's Command. Well, all right, so that's a 2-for-1. We get to draw. We're so good at drawing vials at the worst possible time. Opponent goes to combat, gets and hits us. Down to 10. Well, we will untap. Please, no more lands, no more vials. Please, please, please. Take up. Force of Virtue. Well, we will play a Legion Angel. Get another Legion Angel. Plains. Get rid of the Voidwalker. Hit ya. Down to 5. All right. What do you got, opponent? Running out of time. Opponent. Kroxa. Sure. Not actually very good here because of Sanctifier, which is insane. We discarded Aether Vial that we didn't want anyway. Terminate. All right, yeah. Well, opponent's fighting the good fight. Staying alive-ish. Opponent passes. Vial ticking up. Give us a Squadron Hawk. Let's see a caw. Thalia. That's actually pretty good. So we will put Thalia into play. Another Legion Angel. Tutor up our third hit you. So I guess our opponent's going to need a sweeper. They're going to need some sort of straight up wrath, I think. And even that's a little tricky with Thalia. Opponent silent clearing. Desperation sack? Uh-oh. Explosives on 2. Okay. Ha, 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 ha! Got him! No one expects the force of virtue. And opponent scoops it up. That is the Legion Angel Modern win. That was pretty good. Well, this seems to be like a reasonably effective matchup for our deck. I don't know about other matchups, but apparently we're good against this Mardu Luris style shell. That gets a caw. Sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are cawing in. Oh, geez. Well, we're going to keep this. We are cawing in Modern and could use some more creatures, but our deck is literally overflowing with creatures, so hopefully we draw some. Force of Virtue will become very good if we find Squadron Hawks. Opponent, Spirebluff Canal, and Ragavan. We really don't want to get hit by that. A 1-drop would be interesting. Oh my, this has happened so many times! I might have to make a video that is literally just me drawing Ether Vial on turn 2. I feel like the rate at which we've done that on either turn 2 literally or turn 3 is incredibly high. Oh, if we get hit by this Ragavan, we are in serious trouble with the. Oh my goodness. Our opponent kept a 1-lander? Oh, that is good news. Well, we will play another Ether Vial. A Miria's Call. We could still use a caw. We're not attacking. We would like to not get hit by Ragavan. Opponent. No land. Aye! Okay. Opponent, perhaps running slightly better than us. Land off the top to kill the Thalia, to hit with Ragavan, to snowball Ragavan, to, yes, bad things. Well, maybe they don't have removal. Oh, well, this was kind of the risk with keeping this hand, is if we keep drawing Ether Vials and lands and do not draw creatures, oh, they top deck the land. That Thalia was going to be so good. Yes, opponent, cast her burn spell, get in with Ragavan. Well, now we're getting a tiny bit desperate to draw land, or to draw a non-land. We can probably survive a Ragavan hit. We really need a Squadron Hawk, I think. We can cash in the Sunbait Canyon, so we do get 2 draws next turn, but I really wanted to avoid getting hit by Ragavan. Opponent, of course, after a lot of thinking for no very obvious reason. All right, well, that's a land we didn't want. Gets a treasure. Serum Visions to find more lands. Well, this is the turn. If we can draw a Squadron Hawk, we should be okay. I think we're gonna leave Vial on 2 this turn. So leave Vial on 2, take up to 1. Well, that's not pretty, but land, crack the Sunbait Canyon. Okay, well, yeah. Oh my god, this is so bad. Oh, kill the Ragavan. Ay. Opponent. These are cards that are much better once we find a Squadron Hawk. But, I mean, I guess we answered a Ragavan. It was like a 7 for 1, but we did successfully answer a Ragavan. Opponent, Island, Serum Visions. Definitely gonna have to do a Ragavan off the top montage. Or Ether Vial off the top montage. Opponent. All right, we really need to draw a Squadron Hawk so we can pitch it to the Solitude. Vials going up the chain. Please, any one of our Squadron Hawks. Champion of the Parish. Well, all right. This is not good. Solitude. So the idea of this deck is when we have Squadron Hawks, all these pitch effects are actually good for us. They're actually not much of a downside because we have Squadron Hawks and Legion Battalion and all that stuff that we can pitch. Unfortunately, when we don't draw a Squadron Hawk, it goes very much the other direction. Expressive iteration for our opponent. Powerful Magic the Gathering card. Ragavan. Cast a Ragavan. And a Channeler. Well, we will keep 1 on 2, go up to 4. Well, Champion of the Parish, Esper Sentinel, grow the champion, pass the turn, opponent. And maybe this is our fault, and maybe we should have just mulliganed that first hand. Opponent, Channeler number 2, and Unholy Heat, and pays for the Sentinel, and leaves the card on top, which is bad news. Opponent goes attacking. Well, I mean, we have to trade. We cannot afford to get hit by Ragavan. Serum Visions. Double Surveils. Yeah, this is our deck at its worst, I think. Well, Vials staying on where they're at. I don't even think it's worth casting the Champion of the Parish past the turn. Yikes. Opponent goes to combat. Hits us for 6. Once they crack the land. Yeah, all right. Opponent saw the innovative crack a fetch line. Down to 12. Draws a card. Well, Vials staying right where they're at. Maybe we gotta go to 5 for Solitude. Another land. All right. Well, sure. Tap land. Go. The idea of this deck is we're not supposed to be 2-for-1ing ourselves, but this game we viciously 2-for-1'd ourselves. Opponent hits us for a bit. Opponent's also like a million cards deeper in their deck. 8 cards ahead of us. Some of that is fetches, but still. A lot more velocity. Opponent plays a land tapped. Well, I mean, I guess if we draw a Squadron Hawk, we can play chump blockers. All right. Well, we've seen the deck at its best. Now we've seen it at its quite literal worst. So, Sanctifier in. Pass probably gotta come in. Rest in Peace Thalia's in. Sanctum Prelate's in. Forge Tender's in. Go down a couple Force of Virtues. Gotta go down these Foot Soldiers. Go down Luminarch Aspirants. And what else? What else can we cut? I think Rest in Peace is very good. Do we go down more Force of Virtues? Yeah, maybe. All right, I guess we go down all of them. That makes our clock a lot slower, but I think we need the hate. All right, we get to play first. Ragavan is quite the magic card. We'll keep. Fun little human hand, I guess. Well, it's Plains, and I think we start with Esper Sentinel. Pass the turn. Less explosive, but more punishing. Opponent Dragon's Rage Channeler. Play a Plains. Thalia's Lieutenant. Grow the Esper Sentinel. Go attacking. Still have not drawn many Squadron Hawks. And by many, I mean any. Spirebluff Canal. Esper Sentinel with 2 power does mean we should draw at least a card off of it, even if our opponent kills it. If they don't kill it, it's going to draw a lot of cards. We'll have to see what we draw. Sanctum Prelate on 1 is pretty interesting, although it does shut down our path, which is awkward. Opponent passes. Oh, we know he's Pitch Path. All right, well, Horizon Canopy and Sanctum Prelate. Opponent's going to bolt the Sentinel. Surveil, we get to draw a card. We get to kill both of them? That would be a bit of a blowout. A huge chunk of their deck is 1 mana, though. All right, thanks, mills a Murktide. We draw Thalia's Lieutenant. We lose the Sentinel, Sanctum Prelate. All right, so opponent does have the double trouble. Mills another Murktide. Well, we're naming 1. Your go, opponent. Mountain. And all right, has the answer they were looking for, and a Serum Visions. Jeez, I thought that Sanctum Prelate was going to be good, but apparently not. Opponent gets in, hits us. There it is. There it is. It wouldn't be a game with this deck without drawing an Ether Vial at a very inopportune time. That is what I would call tradition. Not turn 2 this time, which I guess is slightly better, but still not ideal. Opponent. Still have not drawn a single Squadron Hawk. Oh, I can't believe they had 2 mana removal. Looks like a big ol' Murktide. Yeah, Murktide Regent. Opponent goes attacking. We draw Forge Tender. Well, we are going to path the Murktide. We are going to play the... Do we even play the Ether Vial at this point? Do we need to leave up Solitude? I feel like we need to get in damage. Like, I feel like that's the TLDR. Forge Tender. I mean, I guess we'll Ether Vial. Ether Vial. Hit ya. Opponent. Our ability to win seems very much attached to our ability to draw Squadron Hawk, which is kind of crazy. Opponent. Oh my god, our top card. They randomly mill us for... Wow. I cannot believe that worked for our opponent. They randomly milled us for no very apparent reason, even though their deck wants cards in the graveyards, and they hit Squadron Hawk on the top of our... I've never seen such a thing. I mean, I guess they knew what was on top of their deck with a Thought Scour, and that's why they did it. So I guess that makes sense. All right, there goes a Path and a Squadron Hawk, 2 cards we really wanted. Opponent plays a land. Unholy Heat, going after our Champion of the Parish. Surveils again. Well, I mean, I think we got to save it. Opponent. Explosives on 2. Odd choice. I guess they want to keep their Dragon's Rage. Hits us down to 8. Well, Vial taking up. Squadron Hawk, please. Esper Sentinel. Well, let's crack Horizon Canopy, draw a card. Play Esper Sentinel. Grow the Dorks. Hit ya. We probably gotta do this now. While your opponent's tapped out. Get rid of the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Well, this is what we got. Is it enough? Opponent finds what? Oh no. Explosives on every number. Oh. Well, that looks like the end of our board. Opponent blows everything up. No sense in playing that because it's going to get got by engineered explosives. Opponent takes 2. Oh yeah, we got nothing. We got nothing. Nothing going on at all. Opponent, land, passes. We draw. Sunbaked Canyon. Go to combat, hit ya. Down to 7. Pass the turn. Opponent. Well, opponent also doesn't have a ton going on, which is good. There's a Squadron Hawk. Unfortunately, it still plays into this explosives. Go to combat, hit ya. Opponent takes it. Well, we will Squadron Hawk. Grab a couple more. All right, we found it. Did we find it in time? Pass the turn. Opponent taps. What do they find? Mishra's Bauble, so that's a slow redraw. Cracks it. I mean, I assume at some point they're going to be cracking this explosives. Opponent draws an extra card. We find a Miria's Call. Well, go to combat. Attack ya. There's the explosives. Well, we will Squadron Hawk. And a Miria's Call tapped. Go. Well, let's see what they found. Opponent passing. We draw another land. Well, go to combat. Get in for 1. Opponent takes it. Play a Squadron Hawk. Play a Plains. Pass the turn. I wonder if this deck would want Misfill Plains. Kozilek's Return. All right. Another sweeper. Opponent untaps. Thaw Scours. Mills themselves. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Crack the land draw card. Land? No. That is awkward. Prelate. Opponent bolts our face. Surveils. Well, prelate on 1. This is painful. Painful. All right, opponent untaps. I think we gotta wait and try to draw a land. I don't think we can afford to 2-for-1 ourselves here. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 2. Passes. Right on cue. Ether Vial. Well, go to combat, hit ya. This time we can't even cast the Ether Vial. Pass the turn. Yeah. Solitude. Get rid of the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Opponent gains a bunch of life. Up to 5. Opponent passes. Well, rest in peace. A little late to the party, but might as well cast it. I mean, we gotta attack, right? We're dead to a Ragavan off the top, but I don't think we can afford to play around it. No Ragavans, please. Opponent passes. Well, Thalia does help a bit. That means we're not just dead to a Ragavan. Get in with a Prelate. Opponent goes to 1. Thalia. Come on. Hold. Opponent untaps. No 2-mana removal. Land. Redraw. Cracks. Desperate. Do they hit it? If they can kill the Prelate, they can probably bolt us to death. And opponent scoops it up. Oh my god. Wow. See, we drew the Squadron Hawk. And that was enough. We were so close to dead. That is the power of the deck. The power of the deck is you gotta draw the Squadron Hawk. When we draw the Squadron Hawks, we win. When we don't draw the cause, we get crushed. Wow, I felt like we were pretty far behind that game, but we got there. Do we want to change anything? Probably not. All right, draw Squadron Hawk, no top decking Ether Vial turn 2. Those are my 2 requests for this game. Ooh, I think we gotta keep this. The awkward part is we only have 1 land. However, the good news is we do have a lot of interaction. Yeah, I think we just got a Forge Tender. Forge Tender seems pretty good against Ragavan. Would still like to draw lands, but pass the turn. We will accept this Ether Vial off the top. We said not on turn 2, but technically this was turn 1, so we will accept that one. Opponent looks at the top of their deck, trying to set up their scry. Scalding Tarn. Cracks it. Island. Passes. We draw a land off the top. Oh my god, we did draw Ether Vial on turn 2. Of course we did. Of course. Every time. Opponent. Expressive Iteration. I mean, thankfully, this Forge Tender is doing some serious Ragavan duty. Opponent, land, Cerm Visions. Drawing a land to play this Rest in Peace would actually be huge. Opponent passes. Taking up the Vial, and land off the top. Esper Sentinel. Play Vial. Violin Esper Sentinel to annoy our opponent slightly. No attacks, still Ragavan duty, opponent. So problem is they're going to be able to Murktide Regent. That's why we'd really like to get this Rest in Peace down, is that basically beats Murktide. Good news is, eventually these Ether Vials are going to let us play things. Explosives on 1. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, this is so bad for us. Okay. Well, now we need to draw land or we immediately lose. Oh, not like this. Oh, that is so brutal. Huh. Well, yeah, that is the worst expressive iteration for our opponent. Well, now if we don't draw, like, land, we're just super dead. Scalding Tarn. Opponent cracks it. Island. Gonna play a big Murktide. Well, we are going to path the big Murktide. Oh, geez. And a Ragavan. Well, path the Murktide. Opponent. Ragavans. Well, path Ragavan. Play a tap land. Well, land number 2 on turn 5. Opponent untaps. We are, oh my god, every expressive iteration in the world. Opponent. Expressive iteration. Serum Visions. I assume this ends with another Murktide and us crying. Land. Dragon's Rage Channeler. We draw land. We will play Rest in Peace. Pass the turn. Opponent, gonna draw a card. I mean, we're fighting the good fight after starting off ridiculously far behind. Opponent, Thought Scours. Going to mill us. That explosives was insane. Insane. Opponent's really tanking on this. Mills a Murktide. We lose land Squadron Hawk. Opponent, Serum Visions. Surveils. Land. Combat. Attacks. Well, we will play Horizon Canopy, play Squadron Hawk, grab a couple more, play Squadron Hawk, pass the turn. All right, well, let's see if the Squadron Hawks are good enough. We have finally hit our lands. It took us a while, but now we've hit a few in a row, which is actually allowing us to play Magic. Oh, that explosive, so like a 5 for what? Oh my god. All right, well, good news is that is every expressive iteration. They are all gone, every single one. So we no longer have to worry about our opponent expressive iterationing. Their Murktide Regents aren't going to be very good. Their Dragon's Rage Channelers aren't very good. Opponent cracks. Steam Vent stepped. Unholy Heat's a Squadron Hawk. Yep. Goes to combat. No attacks. Now play a Plains. Play Thalia. Play Sanctum Prelate on 1. Go to combat. Hit ya. Have we turned the corner? We'll see. We know our opponent's playing all those Kozilek's returns too, which they probably have at least 1 by now. Okay. Explosives on 1. That is a odd choice. Right now that only kills their Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm so confused. Shouldn't they not be able to cast that? All right, Mills a Lightning Bolt. Are they going to proliferate, perhaps? Why explosives on 1? That hits actually, like, quite literally nothing. Opponent. Passing. I'll go to combat. Do some attacking. What can go wrong if we attack with a prelate? Anything? So opponent abrades. Doesn't matter. Can't pump this. Snapcaster? All right, we'll leave it back. I think the odds of something going wrong are low, but the prelate's doing some serious work at the moment. Opponent. Going to block. All right, so I assume they're setting up a Kozilek's return. Yeah, let's sack this. Pass the turn. Kozilek's return. Well, that turns on their 1-mana spells again. Land. Wow, are we going to see some really bad Murktides? Steam Vents, we are. We're going to see 7-mana 3/3s. Yeah, play Thalia. Play Thalia's Lieutenant. Land. Go. Opponent plays a land. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Hits us. A path would be decent. Okay, Unholy Heat, Surveils, to the top. We take our beats, play Champion of the Parish, grow Thalia's Lieutenant, go to combat attack. Opponent has Lightning Bolt. Well, play Squadron Hawk. Can we draw a Solitude or a Path? We have many left in our deck. Many. Those are the cards we want. Those are the cards that can win us this game. Opponent taps. Goes to combat. Gets in with the Murktide. I think we chump. Opponent passes, we draw. Oh, another useless land. Well, pass the turn. This isn't looking good. This is not looking good. We clawed back into it after the absolutely brutal start, but our opponent's drawn 16 more cards than us. Dashes are, oh no. Oh, not the monkey. Oh, that's so bad. Opponent steals. Well, at least it's an Ether Vial we didn't want. Okay, we gotta draw a real card this turn or else we lose this game. Opponent gonna draw a card. Picks up the rock. Okay, deck. Okay, Legion Angel is real-ish. I'm sure it is probably going to die, but that's about as much as we could hope for. Play the land past the turn. Well, how many bolts do they have? Still a few. And the Braids. And the Ragavods. Oh, wow. We almost got back into it after that horrible start. Opponent hits us, steals, Amiria's Call. Yeah. And they can cast it, and oh, they can't. They're one white short, thankfully. What possible way can we get in this game? Is there a way? Wow, that ended up being, considering how bad our start was, that ended up being close. Champion of the Parish, well, we will play it. We will play a Legion Angel. We will get a Legion Angel. We'll pass the turn. Opponent vials in Ragavan, untaps. If our opponent has removal, they're going to kill us. The biggest issue is we know they still have 2 bolts in their deck. Thought Scours, us. Mishra's Bauble. And we know they're going to draw those bolts eventually, if they haven't already. Opponent. There's the bolt, of course. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we block the Ragavan. Drop to 1. Still a bolt left. We draw. And opponent draws. Well, we drew the path, but it is so late to the party. Legion Angel. No more to tutor up. Pass the turn. Opponent. Vials and Ragavan. Untaps. Well, we're dead to basically everything. Opponent. Combat. No attacks. Interesting. Oh, we draw a useless land. Oh, bad timing. Bad timing for that. Opponent untaps. The problem is we know they're going to draw the bolt and win. Like, it is going to happen 100%. It's just a matter of when. Huh? Or they're going to draw Petty Thief. Whoa! What a game. Wow. Well, on one hand, we didn't win. On another, oh my god, we were going to draw nothing for infinite turns. On one hand, we didn't win. On another hand, we again drew the horrible Ether Vials. We got 4 for 1. We did not, with that explosive vegetation, we did not draw land number 2 until turn 5, I believe. So we didn't play any Magic for a ton of this game, and we still made it close. So I guess, considering all that, not a total loss for Squadron Hawks. Much brew about nothing time. We are Squadron Hawking, Squadron Hawk Tribal, and, well, we got Squadron Hawk. Hopefully we don't get hit by discard, because we really need the Squadron Hawk to resolve, but we'll see. I mean, it's Luris. Well, we played Luris 3 times. Yeah, we played Luris many times. Well, Amiria tapped, go. Oh, really worried about discard. If we get the Squadron Hawk down, then we're happy. Then this hand's great. Oh, that's awkward. Well, land. Oh, Squadron Hawk. Gotta turn on these archive traps. I don't know if we have a plan for mill, do we? Well, get the Squadron Hawks. And then Solitude. Exiling Amiria's Call. Get rid of the crab. Pass turn. Well, okay. Force of Virtue. Pitching a Squadron Hawk. Caw-caw. Please. Opponent. More crabs. Watery Grave. Mills us. Lands and a Legion Angel. Oh, geez. All right, so opponent has drawn many crabs. Well, let's see what we draw. Thalia's Lieutenant. Well, play a land. Play a Squadron Hawk. No searching. Hit you for 2. Solitude. Pitch Thalia's Lieutenant. Exile another crab. Oh, well, 2 crabs down. There's a fetch land. Here comes a milling. Opponent, mills, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter, only for 6. Our Amiria's Calls are good protection, as per Sentinel. Squadron Hawk, no searching, hit ya. Well, I mean, this is it. Can the Hawks beat the crabs? The age-old question of nature. Caw down to 11. Opponent. Fatal Pushes, a Esper Sentinel, sure. Opponent's trying to decide if they want to pay. I think they're going to say no, because they'd rather us draw a card. Yeah, and more crabs. So many crabs. Insane amount of crabs. Picks it up, puts it down. We do technically have a 2-turn clock. Opponent mills us. It's going to depend on this last card. Opponent passes. We draw planes. We go to combat. We attack you. Caw. play a plains. And Thalia's Lieutenant doesn't matter. There's no way it can matter, right? Well, if we draw human, it does. All right, Thalia's Lieutenant, go. Oh, if only they were human hawks. About it. Worried about life gain. Picks up the land. Puts down the land. Mills us, and opponent passing. Play Rising Canopy. Sack a Rising Canopy, draw a card. It's a land. Go to combat. Attack you. Does opponent have removal? They block the Thalia's Lieutenant. Has a fatal push. Goes to 1. Oh my god. If we lose with our opponent at 1 life, I'm going to be so sad. Opponent untaps. Land. Again. Mills. And Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Not good enough. Not good enough. Naturally protected by the ridiculously high CMC of our Amiria's calls. Wow. Okay. Well, that was good. That was very good. Is there any way we actually beat this deck over the long term? That is a whole nother question. So Rest in Peace in, Thalia probably in, Sanctum Prelate probably in, and maybe Paths? Paths might just be better than Solitudes, honestly, in this matchup. We gotta kill quickly. Solitude doesn't help with that. Force of Virtue's fine. Legion Angel's fine. Amiria's Call. Although, Solitude does up our mana value. I wonder if it's worth keeping just because of that? Maybe it's, I mean, we do need to kill crabs. Maybe we go like 2 and 2. And then probably go down the Foot Soldiers. And what else do we cut? What about Ether Vials? Do we want the Vials? They have been kind of the bane of our existence, coming off the top at inopportune times. Yeah, let's go down a Vial. And yeah, let's go 1 Legion Angel. Legion Angel's kind of slow. All right, well, opponent's on the play. Opponent's on the play. Can we beat the crabs? I mean, we're gonna keep this. Only 1 land, but we do have a crab answer, and Rest in Peace does offer some value. There's a crab. Land? All right, we draw the land, so Champion of the Parish. And question is, what are we pitching? It might just be Legion Angel. We could also wait a turn and try to get Hawks, but then we get milled and hit by, yeah, we're going to Solitude, pitch Legion Angel. If we get milled, that turns down Drown in the Lock, and then Drown in the Lock, counter Squadron Hawk, and our whole plan fizzles. Well, okay. Crab 1 down. Opponent's going to Surgical Solitude. Sure. We only got 1 more in the deck. It does make us shuffle, which could turn on some synergies. Wow. Okay. They didn't even take the 1 from the graveyard. Interesting. Ruin Crab again. And Field of Ruin Crab. Ooh, play the land. Luminarch Aspirant. I think we gotta go aggro. Champion of the Parish. Grow Champion of the Parish. Hit ya. Down to 15. Opponent. All right, cycling. Milling. Looking for lands. Finding lands. Milling. Opponent passes. Thalia's Lieutenant. Grow the Dorks. Counter on Luminarch Aspirant. No calling yet, but we got a pretty aggressive start here. Attack you. Opponent to 7. They need a Wrath, I think. Opponent. Caw. Maybe. Opponent looking. Thinking. And passes. Well, I mean, Thalia's Lieutenant. Keep them coming. Grow the Dorks. Go to combat. Counter on Thalia's Lieutenant. Attack ya. Drown in the Lock. Opponent's got a chump. Crab down. All right, pass the turn. Opponent adapts. Do they have a Wrath? Uh-oh, maybe. Polluted Delta. Cracks it. Island. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. No way, no how. Gets 12 and caw. All right. Well, we clawed our way to a to a 3-2, which means not clawed, cawed. Which means we get a treasure chest. Okay, that actually worked pretty well. What a unique archetype. Definitely a unique archetype. And actually somewhat close to being budget friendly. I guess vials are expensive and Solitude, but all right, well, treasure chest, 101. Give us a complete set. Please not a Squadron Hawk. We get Repeating Barrage, not very good, from Ixalan, so of course not very good. Sapling of Conifer, I really like as a card, but I don't know what you do with it. It draws cards, sort of, and gains life, but anyway. All right, Well, that is Squadron Tribal. We played some weird long grindy games, and then apparently we just hard counter Tasha Sidious laughter with the power of Amiria's call. Well, we'll take it. Be back with a wrap up. So why don't we learn this week about Squadron Hawk Caw Tribal in Modern, and overall we went 3-2, and we played some ridiculously long, grindy Squadron Hawkian games. So we were just like tutoring stuff up and grinding and winning in the really, really late game. I think we got to see the good and the bad of the deck. Weirdly, Squadron Hawk really is super important to this deck functioning. The good games for this deck were the games where we had Squadron Hawk, not so much because it's a great clock, although it did actually win us some games by attacking, but because it turns on all those other synergies like Force of Virtue, and it turns on our ability to Solitude. We saw some of our worst games were games where we didn't draw any Squadron Hawks, and we had to like Solitude pitching real cards, and then we just ran out of cards really quickly. So I feel like the deck is oddly competitive. It's just really slow and grindy. Occasionally you get an aggro hand. We saw that in our last match against Mill, where we just got this weird humans hand where we had a bunch of Champion of the Parishes and Thalia's Lieutenants, and we're able to just beat our opponent down really quickly with no Squadron Hawks. But really, this is almost like a weird mono-white aggro control style deck is what it felt like to me. That has a lot of ability to play the long game. So I like the deck. My only real suggestion for the deck is maybe the mana base could be improved. I think the mana's fine as it is. Maybe play some more of the Horizon lands, the one that sacks to draw cards. However, the card I really want is Misfill Plains. Misfill Plains is like a combo with Squadron Hawks because you can keep putting your Squadron Hawks to the bottom of your deck, and then you're able to cast one and tutor up. So you essentially get this like infinite loop of Squadron Hawks. And since our deck goes pretty deep, not only Squadron Hawk, but also Battalion Foot Soldier, this seems like the perfect fit for Misfill Plains. The only problem is we don't have any fetch land. So if we play it like as a one of, it does come into play tapped, which is a problem. But if we play as like a one of, we're probably not going to find it very often. I don't know if it's worth adding fetches just to find Misfill Plains in a monocolor deck, maybe. But all in all, the deck was sweet. If you like Squadron Hogs and you like kind of weird, grindy, I don't even know, aggro control, that's such a weird phrase, but it felt like an aggro control deck. You get some aggro wins. You also have these weird control games that go really long. I think it's a pretty reasonable option for Modern. And I mean, it's super unique. You get to play a ton of Squadron Hogs and Battalion Foot Soldiers. You're playing cards that no other deck in Modern plays. So I really like that aspect of the deck too. But that's been Squadron Hog Tribal. That's our Much Abrew for this week. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Did you enjoy today's Much Abrew About Nothing? Well, make sure to check out last week's episode where we went deep and stormed off with Bard class in Modern.